So I want to see what Mantu can do with the AWP for me to have a little bit more belief, although he's been given quite a number of opportunities. But then, as you said, Vince, especially against the defending major champions in the form of FaZe, it's not going to be easy.
Oh yeah, we were there. We witnessed FaZe pull off greatness, and let's see if they can rinse and repeat through this game. Fiku, in the meanwhile, is pushing on Terrain, gonna be getting 1 kill, which honestly, all things considered, not too shabby. He was being forced down from multiple players from every conceivable angle, and Albroki and Karrigan gonna try and hold it, but it's only 1 kill between the two of them. And now Nex is watching the back. He's waiting, anticipating this push to come in. Twists with 1, has to go 2 better. That's gonna have to be a 1v3. Jumps out and Flames nullifies him. Takes his head clean off, and OG pick up the first round of this best of 3.
Yeah, great flashes towards mid there, completely blinding Rain, and Rain actually getting away with a kill. In all honesty, I thought he's just gonna go down without even getting a singular frag. And for those of you just tuning in right now, I can use the code YARU. That's an interesting code, YARU, and you can get your bonuses there in Roobet. But yeah, just getting back to what I spoke about. This is a team where I saw their actual debut, Vince, at the GET Dubai event, all the way in Dubai, and I'll hold on to that thought for a time being because Brokey is starting to hit some shots, but he will finally be put down.
Yeah, I think this round is probably going to come to its natural conclusion here as the scout is in play from Twists, just peering up on the long side. So you were saying there, Blay, you saw their debut at the Dubai event.
Exactly, right, and in all honesty, it didn't look super convincing. In all honesty, for me personally, but then again, they got Dexter coming in for Blast. They showed quite a lot of improvement, but then again, this is the actual lineup, right? You don't really want to read too much into how they played with a stand-in. And this is a very, very young team. Like, if you look at Neofrag and Fiku, it's they're so very new to this level of Counter-Strike. So yes, I feel like I am actually a fan of the pickups that OG have found instead of just sticking with that old lineup. And it's pretty much as Adeska alluded to as well, it's a whole different lineup compared to what we saw if you go back a year, which is completely different, right? And individually, look at people like Flames, Fiku, and Neofrag. They have the chops. They're very young, very sharp. So there is a future for this team. So I'm not going to be too hypercritical, so to speak. The fact that Mantu with the AWP, I still don't feel it really works for them. I feel it is to the detriment, in all honesty. So that could potentially put a cap on their potential growth down the line. But at least for the time being, this team can only improve, right? They had an incredible run in Blast with the stand-in as well, despite it being the super stand-in in the form of Dexter. But overall, as a team, they look pretty damn solid. But that being said, talking about this particular matchup, you're going up against a FaZe who, yeah, sure, they won the major and then they stumbled a little bit, but that's something which seems to happen to every single team who wins a major. Like, immediately, they kind of let go of things a little bit. But heading into Cologne, FaZe would be looking to use this tournament as kind of like a stepping stone, a way to bounce back into championship winning form. And keeping that in mind, FaZe have to be the firm, massive favorites in this matchup.
Oh, absolutely. I think most people watching this, if they're realistic, expect FaZe to not just win this game, but probably steamroll it, especially with the lack of Dexter being a part of the lineup right now. As they look to try and push out, flashes won't be good enough, and that's 2 kills go down. Scout and Deagle both ring out, and indeed the bomb spills out. He can't retrieve this, though, as it didn't drop the narrow angle out on long, so the Molotov will afford them safe passage to retrieve that. With a molly and the bomb being picked up, it allows FaZe to hold into position. They don't have to feel compelled to go for any rotations over on the B side of the map. And with Deagles and Scouts still in play, OG, they are walking on eggshells. They cannot afford to lose another player.
And I love this from FaZe, right? They get the first 2 opening kills and they don't over-aggress. They immediately fall back to safety. And now OG, they're going to continue on this push. All 4 CTs still lie in wait, Vince.
Yeah, second smoke will be coming down, but this is where the P250s are 5-7s. The Deagles can really start to swing out and get more frags. Rain with 1. Nexa trades back, but the bomb's been spilled again. Molotov to the back boxes could be good enough to yield a little bit of safe passage. 2 HP remains. Here comes the aggression now as the spray is good. Mantu getting 2 kills. Leaving Rops in a 1-on-2. Nexa low HP though. Scout picked up. Not far off connecting that shot, but Mantu is going to somehow snatch this round away. It's looking so good for FaZe, but they will be 3-0 down.
That's such a brave play as well, pushing in through the smoke, catching the 2 CTs. They weren't expecting that. And also, despite being in a pretty picklish situation, able to kind of dot their eyes across the T's, tossing in the Molotov as well, making life very uncomfortable for the scouter. That was, I do believe, that was Twist there. He does get a tag, and Mantu immediately just taking matters into his own hands, right? He's like, all right, he's low. I need to create a little bit of space here for my team, and they do so. But FaZe, they strike back immediately. Karrigan looking to take the fight towards Long, and Flames will fall.
That's long control. It's established. 3 players strong now for the CTs, and 2 of which are going to look to try and dart back onto the site. Now the smokes, mollies, flashes being tossed in for good measure. OG have not really tried to hide this, not try to play this stealthy at all. Root forcing their way out, but all 4 of their contingent over here on this side of the map does leave them barren and bereft of any control elsewhere. M4 is good for the kill. Surgical precision from Reigns A1S, and he could be going in for more, and indeed he shall. Kills thick and fast, no retaliation, no kills in return, no casualties, and FaZe, they get themselves on the board finally.
Kind of making the M4A4 look pretty clinical. Great spray transfer as well. The target selection. But yeah, FaZe Clan immediately bouncing back with a very, very clean round indeed. And for OG though, Vince, because they did suffer a number of casualties in some of the rounds they won, they will not have an ideal buy. The AWP will still be in place along with a handful of rifles. We might see one of the players with just a pistol or a deagle to work with. In fact, it's going to be 2 of them, Fiku and Flames with the Deeks, and Neofrag Nexa, AK and Galil. A lot of investment, a lot of faith in the AWP in the hands of Mantu to crack this B-bomb side open.
His first one in, nearly getting the drop on Twist, who had a Molotov out. There's a second player up close as well. Mantu taking a quarter of his hit points in damage, but he will be pulling the plug. Thing is, though, the OG have stacked all their players over on this side of the map, so they have no mid control at all, no long control. So you can understand why they've gone for that kind of a play with a lack of weaponry, but not really working out for them. And now trading some grenades back at spawn. So maybe they can flash their way out and to try and get some kind of engagement coming down. Lower tunnels, though, is under control now for OG. Thing is, as you mentioned, though, Blair, if they lose this round, then FaZe are on the fast track to a potential 3-3. So OG will realize that pressure is mounting.
Towards top, and Robs is so very quick. Mantu trying to just crouch on down and just catch Robs off guard, but Robs with the AWP, this is something we've seen in the past. He likes being the bit of an op demon, an op abuser towards mid and being very aggressive. Something you're going to be seeing him going for some aggro pushes towards lower tunnels as well. Later on his CT side. But him getting that opening pick, that's going to force OG to go for his rotation towards B, but they're kind of running out of time here, Vince. 20 seconds. Yet to make any headway, and now there are 3 CTs lying in wait.
Exactly. And the A4 is here. They have car control with Rain. Like, it's almost impossible to see how they get anything done from this position. They have got the first kill on Car, though, but that's just allowing safe passage for Rops to null in twice with his AWP. And OG on the back foot will be forced into a pretty dicey buy. I'd actually be surprised if they really get anything into this round, considering, Blair, that they're all around that $2,000 mark.
Yeah, just go for maybe a couple of light pistols. Yeah, you can go for a couple of pistols, maybe a few flashbangs, and try and just go for a fast play out towards short perhaps and get the bomb done. But no, they're going to exercise a lot of restraint, Vince. It's going to be the mythical full eco. And look at Ray. Look at Ray. He wants his kills, Vince. He wants to farm a little bit of stats, but somehow Karrigan will get taken down. Too many Glocks to handle. That's an M4. Can be retrieved. No Kevlar though, so aim punch is a very distinct possibility. But now, looking at Rain's position, they know exactly where all members of OG are. So for FaZe, it's about winning this round without hemorrhaging any more players.
Yeah, precisely that. And with their positions right now, they got 2 ops established on A site. Second player, or third player, I should say, an elevator. And as you mentioned, Rain is watching the flank. So the thing is, for OG, eventually they're going to have to push forward, because obviously they want to lose this round with everyone dead so that they can move forward with round loss. So eventually they have to come out to the open, and it's going to be Brokey with 3. did get dinked at range, but 67 HP because it was the Glock. And that means that FaZe have tied us up at 3. To 3. OG, though, they'll have a buy coming in.
Bit of overkill with the AWP there from Brokey. And Rain trying to just farm those eco kills, gets denied. Vince, he just finds one, which is unfortunate. But here comes the buy. Here comes the buy. Man 2 with the op, and he's gonna take the shot. Ooh, that is quick. Rob's getting tagged through the edge of the door. But in the meantime, towards long Brokey, bit of a duel. He's gonna stick on around towards the car position because he does have backup. He does have Twist alongside him with a smoke in hand, and Brokey op still trained the position, looking for someone to just jump inside of pit. Beg your pardon, it's actually Karrigan alongside him with a lot of utility as well. They really haven't used up much. You can see the fact that Brokey has a smoke and an incendiary still in play means this car position could be very viable for the next few seconds for him.
Yeah, and there's no mollies either for OG, so they can't even throw one in. It's going to be easy pickings. Brokey in with the first, doesn't need to move. Smoke's going to be coming down. That's for the cross. Flashbang precedes it. Smoke down now from Brokey, who's going to be pushed in. Likely will die as a hail of bullets find their way. How is he still alive? Karrigan does go down instead, though. Bites the bullet for his teammate. Brokey sees the shadow, and he will pounce once more. Surely Brokey doesn't survive this round. How the hell?
The Iceman, Vince. The Iceman. He has absolutely no nerves whatsoever. It's a miracle he stays alive. That position on top of the car. The player was looking for him. He knew where he was, and somehow he still collects the kill and a follow-up as well. What a hold from Brokey. I need a replay of that.
It's as soon as the bullet, he's just like darting, dodging, he's full on neoing. I think he also needs to go and say thanks to Karrigan as well, because Karrigan did soak up quite a lot of those bullets, and a lot of the attention was turned over on the A side. But now OG into pistols, and they're having to deal with the Rain, who pushes up again, but he has been punished. Nexus says no. Deagle in hand, takes his head clean off.
Bit of a flubbed incendiary, but that's okay. It's just the pistols here. Robs. Nothing of a shot. Having no trouble in this one, just should be another round here for FaZe. But yeah, 3-0 start for OG. They started to look good, but then FaZe, once the guns come into play, Vince, they are looking pretty indomitable. And what's worrying for me, or rather what's worrying for OG, is Brokey and Rops, this double op setup. They haven't died. They're both in $10,000. Rops even a little bit above an 11K, Brokey at 9,700. And they have been just basically almost unkillable, I wanted to say. They're getting hounded down here. But Brokey, this guy, okay, maybe not the play there. I'm not too sure if Brokey really went for that. Getting a little too overeager, and he will be punished for it, leaving Man 2 now in a 1 versus 3. Spots out Robs. Oh, this is doable.
He should have this kill dead rights on Robs. Takes his head off. He's not sure about a second player in mid, and this could be his downfall. It will be his downfall. Twists, gobbles up that kill. Nice effort from Man 2. At least it's bringing the hefty amount of finances down a peg or two. The problem is, though, Blair, they're still so solid for money, FaZe Clan, and they will be for quite some time.
Oh, absolutely. They are looking very, very comfortable. And for Brokey, sure, maybe that wasn't a play there, but it's okay. He's got so much of money, so much of funds to work with. In fact, he'll drop the AWP from his teammate. Rob's going to buy for himself. And once more, the dual zoom banger is very much in play. And for OG, what do you do? Brokey's just being so mobile, such a thorn here. Doesn't stick around. He knows that lower tunnels, there's no control. And he could easily find himself headless if he sticks around for too long. He will fall back to a much more comfortable position. But FaZe have this almost seemingly the entirety of the map on lockdown.
Yeah, a couple players have been eerily quiet as well. Fiku 0-7. Neofrag hasn't quite had the impact that you may be looking from a player of his very young, promising stature. They did get the first 3 rounds, but that's off the back of the pistol round. And as soon as the stabilizing effect came in from FaZe, as you can see, they're now on fire. 5 rounds on the bounce. Flashes and smokes, mollies being exchanged, but no real ground is gained on OG. They're still kept at arm's reach.
And Karrigan's doing such a good job just having control of long doors, allowing his teammate, that is, again, Brokey, to have full confidence and just holding on to his mid position. Great pick from Mantu to find Rain, but the trade is immediate, and I think they know the jig is up. They know it's going to be an A play, but remember, there is still one player lurking towards tunnels for the T's.
Yeah, that could be pretty big, especially if they try and push up through the middle and get around the back of Catwalk. That could be to their detriment. However, in the meanwhile, posted up on the site, Brokey gonna try and go huge, but Flames gets two. Carrigan and Brokey both sent packing. Rops, though, keeping that secondary open play and puts it down range, and Fiku's woes continue. 18 ADR and 0 and 8. It's not been an excellent start for him, but it could still be the round going his team's way. And judging from the positions, it doesn't look like FaZe are too interested in this just yet. They could be waiting, though, for Rops to make some moves. They do have kits, but the fact that they have so much money may just allow them to set up for exit frags and not much more. Yeah, the time is too low at this stage. They have given up the chase in the round. They just want to make sure the OG go down with the ship. Is going to be in for the peak, should be finding plays. There's one, could be coming in for more. They're so desperate, trying to get their way out of dodge, but they are all going to go down all the same. However, it is at the cost of a 4th round as OG pick up that. They're only one behind FaZe now.
But if you look at the money, right, since they lose every single player, Mantu and Neofrag, if they go for the AK buy, they're going to have, like, no utility. And one of the players is actually on just $3,600 as well. So they will, of course, have the buy, but it's not going to be ideal. I did see Mantu go for a scout buy. There we go. Fiku, he was 3,600, so he's going to go for the utility buy for his teammates. Because Neofrag, he's gone for the AK and Kevlar purchase. That's all they have to work with. So sure, they win the round, but look at this one twist.
Orc. Carrigan picking up the Orc. And that's maybe why we don't see it used more often. Doesn't really do much.
I don't think it's that old yet where he needs to scope in that hard. I am. But here we go. Brokey once again getting arrested from behind, but Twist, oh, that's the bomb spotted as well. Oh, they're just pinned in here, Vince. They are just going to be completely pinned in, but that's a great flashbang. Oh, that's brilliant from Fiku. The flash is so well timed, so well placed. They knew they couldn't allow Twist to get into a comfortable position, and they could have been absolutely pinned down. The round could be lost right there, but they find Twist, and that is massive for OG.
Yeah, huge. As you said, they would have been pincered in on the long side, and it would have been a case of constricting and really just trying to make them gasp for air. Meanwhile, though, they're not out of the woods just yet, OG. They have 50 seconds left, but they're only just starting to make moves up long. And there's 2 of the 3 players over in this location, one of which is Brokey on the car. We've already seen what this guy's capable of in the previous round, but he's been tagged down. Molly's now coming out, smoking from Rops to keep him alive. And that secondary open play one more time. 30 seconds now. They need to have some impact over on the catwalk side, but Brokey's already pincered in for one. Rops should lose his life. And now Brokey goes in for more and spins around to get a third on the frag. And he's still alive, and he's still kicking ass. Oh my god, he's just picked up that round and survives? How?
What? That is just grotesque from Brokey. That is just grotesque from Brokey. This is insane. Like, how is he allowed to get away from the same position again and again and again? That repositioning and frag onto Neofrag was just filth. And even going for the final frag onto Flames, despite the fact his teammate had arrived. He's on something right now, is Brokey. Takes a bit of a shot, a faster play coming in towards long, and the Incendiary, oh, it's going to take quite a bit of damage onto Fiku, but the rest of them will come scampering back. And now Rops with the A1 is opted to go for the rifle, as Mr. Robin Cool. I don't think they're going to be expecting this. 2 players popping on out. Rain has been spotted, but they know where Rops is. Robson just farmed them, but the pistols. Flames able to take him down. I'm not too sure why FaZe are going for these duels, and they're getting punished for it.
I already have an answer for you, to be honest here. Blair, Brokey's still alive. They're going to trade across to the AK, hoping the T's get overzealous. And peeking, he's running out of ammunition. Molotov tossed in, but Mantu's on the close angle. Nice shot. How is he still alive? Mantu didn't go for the peak. He's only on 10 HP. This is actually a winnable round for Brokey. Hot off the back of a crazy 4K, but he could be getting swept in. The spray just about nails him at the end. And it will be curtains for FaZe, but I completely agree. You're in a bottleneck situation where you're on double doors and it's easier to line up those headshots with the P250s and Deagles. That just seemed like suicide to me on FaZe. Like, I don't understand the thought process.
I guess they want to like to have another. They wanted us for us to see another frag highlight, I guess, from Brokey, but that was that was just unreasonable. I'm not too sure why there was no need. Apart from the only word I can use there is overconfidence. That was just pure overconfidence from FaZe, and they get punished. Here comes a faster play towards B bomb side. The Carrigan gonna open things up with the MP9, but Nexa and Fiku with the 1-2 wombo combo, cracking open the B bomb side. And if FaZe not able to get a kill early on here, at the moment the bomb gets planted, they were going for the save. They really don't have any funds remaining to work with.
Yeah, whereas earlier we were talking about how much money they had in their back pocket as a Molotov spreads and gives Rain's position away. Now things have got a lot more dicey, from riches to rags. And they will be forced to save these weapons. They were toying with the idea of maybe hanging around and getting some more exit frags, but that has come and gone. So 6-6 will be the score. And this is where that previous round of just peeking one by one. And the other aspect as well, when you're in a close-knit angle like the double doors, you can only really peek 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. You can't really utilize all those rifles to their maximum potential. And we just saw it come horribly awry. Bit surprised that Rops was even hanging around in this position, to be honest, with his two teammates nowhere near him and looking to try and save. So FaZe will be 6-6, and the buy here, if there is one, going to be pretty rough.
I could see FaZe still going for this, but yeah, you want to go for a full save here. Just trying to work around the op in the hands of Brokey. Listen, it's Brokey with the AWP. He can still win you the round single-handedly, and you also have Rain with an A1. A faster play once more towards B. Was Rops being a bit of a rat inside of tunnels here with the Zeus. Flash is good though, and Robbie's actually gonna get away with it. He can't pick up the rifle though. They're gonna try and hunt him down. He's gonna be debate. Brokey with the AWP as well. I can't believe he's got away with that. Twist though, trying to catch the timing. He will be taken down, and Manchu might not be expecting the player tucked inside the corner. OG, they are scratching their heads. They're wondering what the hell is even going on right now.
That was such a long-range Zeus as well. I've seen players Zeus from close to the knot and not get the outright frag. So somehow he's managed to dart away with that one. As you said, though, couldn't quite extend his arms long enough to get the rifle, which is a bit of a downer. A 1-for-1 trade early on, and as you mentioned completely correctly, with Brokey with the AWP, anything is possible. We have already seen what this guy is capable of. That 4K he got on the car completely caught me off guard. I thought it was like a one and done, maybe get 2 kills from there. And now they've got the short bait set up. There's one, drops back down again to focus on the long side. P250 still in the arms, and here comes Rops from behind, and he just drops Mantu. Flick up, does connect onto Flames, but it's into the legs. So not the outright frag, but he'll be limping his way to the site. Just shy of 30 seconds on the clock. And one of OG needs to step up and be a hero. They do at least have control over the bomb. They can try and force this plant down. Nice frag from Flames, who's now going to be sticking onto the site, going for that plant, but now the rotational play comes in, and Rain is looking for blood as Brokey spins around and no-scopes Flames. I need to see that from his perspective. That looked ridiculous.
Yo, this guy's out of control. He is so out of control. 15-6. Unkillable right now. The Iceman, the Latvian Lazo, whatever you want to call him, he is just demolishing OG. Also, Rob's getting 2 kills, by the way, Vince, on an eco. One with the Zeus and the USP. Of course. Of course he gets that.
That's got to be such a rare statistic when you think about it, right? I can't imagine there's been that many occasions where someone has got a Zeus and a USP kill in the same round.
Against a full buy.
Yeah, exactly.
And 2 trying to go for the boost fine, but Rops reads it like a book. That's an early duel going the way of FaZe. No more overconfidence this time around, Vince. They have been punished for that, rightfully so. And they're giving the respect to OG. Look, the one thing about this OG team, they are very young. They're extremely young. You know, we have our criticisms about, Mantu not being at the level of an opera we need him to be for OG to kind of elevate themselves. But one thing you can't take away from these youngsters, especially Fiku, Neofrag, and Flames, they can shoot heads. They will punish you if you give them an opportunity. I've seen them just be unleashed at times. It's just that FaZe are the better team by whatever factor you use to measure that. But if you're just going to go for the individual duels and give them the opportunity to take equal fights, they can come out on top. And that is something FaZe need to be wary of. And right now, looking at the way they're approaching this, it looks like they are very aware of it.
Exactly. I think that's where tournaments like this are so vital and integral for OG. I think Yanko hit the nail on the head. This OG roster does remind me a little bit of Ents early on, where there's a lot of these unknown elements. Deha obviously played in like Sprout at that point, but the rest of them were kind of more of an unknown variable, and they just grind. And they got to that level, so give OG time. In the meanwhile, though, speaking of which, there isn't much in this round left, and Rain is going to spray with 2 and a third as well, dropping the bomb down, and lives to tell the tale. Actually decides to pick up the pace and just charge down Nexa, who is last man standing. But for how much longer he'll be on his feet is yet to be determined. 10 seconds left on the clock. Comes out into the open, and Rops puts him down. 8-6 the score. And Rain once again showing just how good he is.
I love the way he just plays in front of the smoke as well, right? He knows the flash is going to be popping, it's going to be popping behind him, and he's going to find the first player coming out playing the anti-flash. And just great stuff coming out from Rain. And this is the phase, this is more of the phase I want to see. I don't want to see a phase just taking it loosey-goosey, and, you know, where they're lost just to the Deagles, just feeding the kills to OG. And look at this once more. We've seen this in the past as well from Twists, and they have so much information here, Vince. They can just get slaughtered here once more.
Are they even going to check Rops? There's so many flashes have connected, they have no idea he's here. He's going to get 2. However, Mantu, Flames, and Fiku all chip in for frags. So although Rops has gone above and beyond, the rest of his team have kind of dwindled around him. The flashbang through the incendiary, and Flames will make short work of Rain. Carrigan now gets tickled from the Flames, and thus they know exactly where he resides, and Neofrag will put an end to the IGL. FaZe will lead, but it's by the narrowest of margins, 8-7.
And it's kind of, honestly, 7 rounds for the side of OG. They're going to be pretty happy with that, considering it was FaZe seemingly running away with it, and it looked like the Brokey show throughout, right? But the good sign here for OG is, it might sound weird, the fact that Neofrag and Fiku have a combined total of only 6 frags in that first half, Vince. It was the others in the teams. It was Flames, it was Nexa, and it was Mantu stepping up and delivering when the youngsters really couldn't get much done. So that's a good sign. And honestly, looking at the scoreline, still very competitive. Still very, very competitive indeed. And for OG, let's see what they have in store for us here on this CT side. Nexa is going to take one for the team. The captain leading by example, a couple of flashbangs and a kit. Rest of them USPs and armor. For the side of FaZe, the IGL counterpart for Nexa, Carrigan, going to be the one with the utility. So take things a little slow. They're anticipating a similar pistol round from OG. The aggression, it's going to be Flames with a little bit of later aggression. I love this. The flash is good, but they need to land the shots.
Yeah, they've expended quite a bit of utility. It's really the only grenades that they had for that play. Nothing really forthcoming. Now, they did do some considerable damage to Rain. He's down to 18, but I'm not sure that will be enough. And FaZe, in the meanwhile, have made moves up on long. They have middle control already established. They still have a flash and a smoke. And things are slowing down a little bit here, Blair. And OG may go looking. They may walk into the trap. Flames is going in close. He gets spammed down from Carrigan, who leaps around the corner.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. Out in the open, Vince, and they are getting absolutely pincered now. Absolutely pincered, destroyed, decimated, and Fiku, good for 1. Carrigan, get out of here. That is just... Imagine you're like, maybe I found a timing, and then Carrigan just comes bunny hopping around the corner and just one-taps you in the face.
Yeah, that is salt in the wounds, Blair. That's gonna sting. It's gonna sting for a while. They have gone in for the force. MP9, Scout, some pistols. A taste is a pretty important round, all things considered, Blair, because if they concede this, then FaZe are off to a fast track of multiple rounds, and they have got their man of Rain. Tunnels has been vindicated, vacating the premises of NETs, and OG now can try and build off that.
Yeah, there's nothing Twist can do either, right? He can't even gather information for his teammates. So Tunnels control firmly with OG, and they can just fade away right now. They don't need to stick around. They don't need to mill around out of tunnels. They don't have any utility to try and find their escape. And for FaZe, because it is so dangerous to try and go for tunnels control, like regain control of that with the, especially against pistols, so they need to go for this A play. And OG are aware of that, and they should be going for a bit of a stack here. That being said, they're actually falling back towards B, which is curious.
Oh, this timing's really brutal as well. I mean, it just traded off 2 players over on the B side, and now this wall of smokes comes down, and they have scouts, they have pistols to try and shoot through the smoke. Bit of damage has been inflicted already. Speculative shots not really sticking the landing. Some chip damage done. Oh, and it looked like Flames was going to be able to line up the Deagle, but instead it's Twist that sprays down from above, smiting the CTs and forcing them away. And it felt like that call to go back to B was really the difference maker, Blair. As you said, if they'd have gamble stacked correctly, FaZe would have been walking into one hell of a trap, and it could have gone a very different way.
It comes out of mind games as well, right? I really don't blame them too much, because they could be thinking exactly what I thought right there. And they could be like, you know, FaZe probably think that the A play is going to be the obvious one, and they might actually go back to B because they're expecting us to be stacking towards A. So let's, you know, to try and gamble that. But Karrigan's like, you know what, screw it. We're a man down. We don't want to retake control of tunnels. We've lost that, but we have the utility. We have the weaponry. Let's work that to our advantage. Why do you want to go for the CQB battles where the pistols can't come out on top, right? And I think that was the right play coming in from FaZe. And yeah, for OG, bit of a gamble there. They're gone for the long plays, you said, Vince. They could be FaZe just walking into a trap, getting mowed down by the pistols and the SMGs, but they will avert what could have been potential disaster, but they still need to avert the weapon saved for OG, because gotta remember, they went for the save there, didn't try to go for the exits or attempt the retake, so they still have to contend with the danger of the SMGs. There's a Macton, there's an MP9, a CZ, and Man2 with a scout.
Yep, they get to go again, rinse and repeat. This time, though, there will be no double-pronged hit into tunnels, so Rain and the rest of his troops can take control of the area. This affords them safe passage into Catwalk as well. And they've taken this very early on, so the pressure will be mounting onto OG. Once that smoke clears in middle, there'll be more avenues that maybe FaZe want to try and navigate and explore through.
He's taking a sweet time. I like this. Not getting too over-eager. Playing the defaults. Approaching this like they are dealing with the pistols, and they've gone for the right call here, Vince. Just the one player on the B bomb site. All alone is Fiku, who's had a bit of a rough time, a bit of a rough game. 4 and 14 for the lad. If you could find Rain, it could be huge, but the timing, it looked like Rain almost sensed it, right? He was sensing that someone's going to come pushing in through the smoke, and he's able to take him down. They lose Brokey, but a B bomb site, the bomb down, in control of FaZe for OG. Just looking for the exits right now.
Yeah, exactly. Get some exits, see if they can get some frags on the SMG of Neofrag. Maybe Man2 can pick up a head or two, and they can trade up to one of these AKs or Galils. Nexa has a chance and did connect the headshot onto Rops. But unfortunately, the CZ will not yield the same firepower as the AK-47. This will put FaZe into 11-7 lead regardless, however. And it feels like they're starting to shift through the gears a little bit. Twists making short work of Neofrag, and looks like Man2 and Flames will be able to survive in CT and car respectively. Have I spoke too soon? Or Man2 will survive, but to be fair, I think he wants to upgrade to the AWP anyway at this stage. You don't want to hold on to the scout in this kind of a round.
Indeed he will. Indeed he will. The AWP comes out to play, but yeah, this is the one of the first of what can potentially be 2 very pivotal rounds here for OG. It was a close end to the first half, right? 8-7 for FaZe, but now FaZe have gone on this bit of a streak, 3 rounds back to back to back. Albeit it was against the, just a pistol and a half buys, but Brokey, my word, the flames don't deter him. His eyes laser focused, looking for more. But Man2 is daring Brokey to face him.
Problem here is, though, that there's more troops behind Brokey, and it's a flashbang preceding the push. Barrel of the gun betrays Neofrag, but he still gets the upper hand onto Rain. The Twist is up to the task. There's one, and a second alongside it, the Canadian. Causing carnage, and that is going to be the save. Absolutely, you want to hold on to this open M4, and it's just looking a little bit too easy for FaZe.
Yeah, even in a 3 versus 3 with the bomb down like that, you usually just go for the save, and I don't see any kit in the hands of Man2 or Flames. In fact, I didn't see any kits getting dropped anywhere on the ground. I could be mistaken, though. But yeah, Man2 Flames immediately going for the call. The moment Twist gets second kill, they're like, yeah, this one's spiraled out of control. And I said, Vince, this is one of 2 important rounds for OG to win. They've lost this one, and that's going to allow FaZe to get to 12, and potentially a 13th, because it's going to be just a light buy for OG here. Who might actually no, they could go for the force here. Never mind. Max loss bonus. We could have the 2 rifles getting dropped by the 2 saving players. The 2 M4s can be dropped on over, and they will have enough money remaining to eke out a decent buy when it comes to utility. And for the 5th player, maybe a FAMAS, but I believe you could just go for the M4 buy and some Kevlar and maybe a smoke. So a buy will still be coming in here for the side of OG. The save enabling it, but they need to start converting these rounds. They need to start winning a few, or else FaZe seemingly just going to be running away with this.
Yeah, exactly. Out of the 7 rounds, keep in mind that 3 of them were off the back of the first pistol round as well. So
wait for the save. Okay, that's a lot of restraint. I can respect that as well. Like, you can see the Kevlar being purchased by Neofrag and a Deagle. There was a world here where Flames and Man2 could have dropped 2 A1s, and maybe Fiku could have bought himself a FAMAS, and it would have still been a good buy. But they opt to go for the full save, try and deal a bit of damage to the pistols, and work around the AWP and the M4 in hands of Man2 and Flames. And that's something FaZe did earlier, if you remember. Go back to the first half. It was Brokey and Rain who basically won the round, where they only had like pistols for the rest of the teammates. So hopefully OG can replicate that.
yeah, I admire the self-confidence, you know, not getting too desperate and snatching at any possibility, but just playing for the bigger picture and having the confidence in Man2 and Flames in particular to have a big performance here. And to be fair, Man2, some questions were asked of him. He's had a decent performance so far, 12 kills. Hasn't been completely quiet. Ooh, Fiku wasn't too far off connecting a headshot there. There's a bunch of players lined up for him. With a smoke down and a HE behind it, plus a flash, it looks like we're going to have a potential winning formula for FaZe one more time. They are, however, pushing into that M4, and Flames on the periphery of the smoke is looking to try and spray down. Gets one. That may not be good enough. He needed more impact. He needed more kills. Another floor littered with CT corpses. We'll have FaZe looking good for yet another round, and the CTs aren't really in any position to fend this one away.
Rops is being so passive as well, Vince. Oh, never mind. A bit of a whiff spray from Mr. Robin Cool and Neofrag. I'll let himself a frag. That's an AK retrieved as well. And they just go for the save. Which makes sense, right? Like, this was, again, remember, they came into this round with 2 rifles. That's the AWP and the M4. They lose the M4, but they're able to swap it out for the AK-47. So it's still okay. Now the buy is going to be coming in. And this is the second round I was talking about, which I was alluding to earlier. If they lose this round as well, FaZe are going to be pretty much in full cruise control, and it's just going to be a matter of time before they close this match out, or rather close this map out. So this round coming up next, round with 21, this is where OG need to make their stand. This is when they need to somehow turn things around and stop this streak of rounds that FaZe are on.
Yeah, and this is the choice of OG as well, of course, with Overpass coming up next, which I don't think is going to fare too much better than this. So it feels like if OG are going to take us the distance, if they're realistically going to have a chance of winning this series, it has to happen right here, right now. They are going to have double AWPs. They're going to have some healthy amounts of utility and M4s. This feels, though, to me, Blair, this could be the last chance to really get a stranglehold back in this game. They've got to make this buy work.
Absolutely. And that is something that's going to be in the back of their minds. Double up setup coming out as well, Vince. They saved the AWP and the money that Man2 had accrued, or the Fiku had accrued, enabling them to go for the double op. But can they find success with the double sniper, which they haven't thus far? That's a question. FaZe getting a lot of control here towards short very early on, and despite not having long control, you have this much of map control towards short. You can kind of toy with the rotations. And for OG, they're not budging. It's a very default setup. One towards B, the one rotator towards a mid position for mid doors and the B bomb set. And it's going to come down to Neofrag. He has to be pivotal here for the side of OG. It's going to find one.
Excellent first frag, but the flash affords Brokey to close the distance. And Alfiku He's got players surrounding him. Smoke down to extinguish the Molotov. Misses his shot. That could be him going down. Nexa elsewhere, though, has at least put down Carrigan. Fiku somehow still alive, but finally will be falling prey to Brokey. And although damage is inflicted to Brokey from middle, it won't be enough to repel him from planting the bomb. So now the entire dynamic, the entire fulcrum point of this round switches from a pressure point on FaZe directly to the jugular of OG, and they know the importance of this round. They've got a chance. It's fleeting. Brokey waiting for that right time, and Twist with the last bullet in the magazine puts it through the smoke into the head of Man2. And FaZe may have just broken OG permanently here on Dust 2.
Oh, look at the money for the side of FaZe. For OG, sure, we've had a couple of players save time and time again. I do believe it was Man2 and Neofrag. Man2 at $6,000 of a saving for 2 rounds, so they will have the buy. But it's basically FaZe in full control right now. 6 rounds in a row. Even if you discard the pistol round and then the following anti-eco rounds, them look so good thus far. Dangerous game. They're being played at mid. I don't even know how Neofrag's alive, and he will be taken down. It's Twist with the AK to take him down. And FaZe, they are looking unstoppable right now. OG, this defense is crumbling. Losing Neofrag early on, at least Fiku, he's able to reply back, finding Rain.
OG at least have even the odds. Brokey with a slither of an opportunity will punish Nexa if he should push past the smoke.
It's going to be an A play coming in. You can see Rob's heading all the way back from tunnels, right? He's got the C4 to pick up. That being said, Twist is slowly backpedaling as well. But yeah, Rob's going to pick up the C4. They're going to be going for a bit of a slower play here towards... It looks like a mid to B play. There's no one walking long, no one going for a late flank.
Now congregating over on the catwalk side. Run boost in. Man2 doesn't even go for the shot. Just drops down incendiary out. Smart play. Keeps himself alive. But his teammates are getting removed around him, and that will lessen the impact that Man2 can realistically have, especially if Twist is going in again. If Nexa keeps in this position, he's about to walk out in the smoke, and he's going to be dead to rights from Twists. He's very unlikely to miss this opportunity. 20 seconds to go. The bomb now needs to come across, and Twists is going to just devour the life out of OG as he goes from strength to strength, from headshot to headshot, and FaZe now have 8 map points.
That was a team flash, Vince. That was a team flash for Man2. He used a flash to try and find a semblance of safety, and there were no comms there, so his teammate just peeks in, trying to help him out. Instead, he gets completely blinded. A free kill for Twist, and he just continues to press on forward and take nothing away. Those were some beautiful shots coming out from the Canadian. But, oh, such a massive mishap for OG, and round 23, 15, and 7, and look at the buy. I say that, though. Man2 with the scout able to put in some work. Arrogant will fall. But look at the buy. 3 M4s, a FAMAS, and a scout for Man2, but they are 2 to the good. Finding a couple of early kills. This could be what OG need to try and wrest this back, but they still have a long, long, long way to go.
Oh, yeah. Man2's just been winged down as Brokey holds the line on middle. Neofrag pushes out and gets dealt with accordingly. Ray now up close. There's an AWP trained in his position. Pardon me, it's actually the scout. Although it'll have the same impact as Flames is there to finish off the weakened Rain. You did get one just beforehand, though. So FaZe are doing their best to just dig their way back into this round bit by bit. Inch by inch as they crawl their way over on A long. 50 seconds allocated to them. Brokey may be low, but Rops is still healthy. They talked about the clutch potential when it comes to FaZe in these very situations. Down but never truly out. Flashbang for the cross. They do not have 2 smokes for the cross, however. So although flash went in, that has now been bypassed. Second allows Rops clear passage to the site, but they do have to deal with Nexa and also the contingent on catwalk, and it will be Nexa that puts the final nail in the coffin of Rops, leaving Brokey on 10 HP to try and clutch this one down, and Flames says no. 1 map point saved, 7 more to go.
7 more to go, and I've been trying to be an optimist of late, Vince. People have been saying I've been too too much of a Debbie Downer. Although my name's not Debbie, but it looks unlikely. I won't lie. It looks very, very unlikely indeed. But if OG can do it, color me impressed. Brokey almost catching the timing on the CT, crossing through, but will stay alive. And by the way, the previous round was predicated off the fact that the first two early duels went the way of OG, right? And that's been something they've been struggling with. FaZe seemingly at will seem to be just coming out on top in almost every single duel. And if you look at the kills for each and every one of the members, you talk about the stars of FaZe, everyone are having a great time. Robs on 18, Rain on 16, Twist and Brokey on 24 and 21.
Flashbang out, smoke behind it as well, although it does land a little bit too high. This is the second one. Nexa tosses a grenade in. That's a lot of damage he's just done. Nearly 150 damage. In the blink of an eye from Nexa, he's just gone a little bit more. He's chipping away those health bars, but twists aside. He's had enough. On the drive-by, removes the head of Neofrag, and now Fiku, not for the first time, is stuck alone on B. Nexa and Flames, though, through on CT side, are making this a real scrappy affair on the side of FaZe. And it looks like it will be another post plant. It's Brokey and Rops. They're both healthy. And Brokey needs Rops to stay alive, needs Rops to have impact, and he'll do just that as he splatters Flames with his position now compromised. Molly over onto the window, cordons away that one area, cauterizes the wound, but that wound will be healing up shortly. And as soon as it does, they can go in for a two-pronged attack. Rops on 42 has to try and fend this away. Big headshot from Rops. Flashbang through from man 2. Time is ticking away. Another flashbang tossed out. Oh, a jumping headshot from Rops. Are you serious? 16-8 and finishes it in style.
A little bit, you know, show some signs of life, it will be a good thing. Again, you got to remember, this is a classic GSL format, 4 teams in a group. You lose this, you still have another opportunity to play in a best of 3. Well, with the loser of the other game, which I do believe is live right now. Actually, no, the previous one. My bad. I take it back.
Yeah, I think it would be the loser of the big match, right?
So Entropiq, yeah. You get to play against Entropiq, where honestly, if you're OG, you should be feeling pretty comfortable with that. But we're gonna be jumping into pistol round here, Vince. No more chit chat. And for OG, they've gone for a very aggressive stance towards connector and B, and now they know that hit should be towards this A bomb side. But because FaZe is taking so very long, the rotation is already taking place.
It is, but they have got enough time and control over connector that they can re-rotate back again. It's the classic all-around-the-world strat. They have slowed this one down. And now OG are looking for a bit of aggression, looking for a bit of information, but it's at the cost of their life as Rops nails man 2 in the head over on long. And if it was rough before, now it's just got a little bit more tentative. FaZe picking up the pace, headed to B, and it's completely vacant of CTs. They rotated already. They had one player in heaven. At least Rops, though, has been sent packing from Neofrag, so that gives them a better opportunity for the retake.
Yeah, just good rotation coming in from FaZe. You're getting the read. They could have walked into the stack. Oh, the stack, the footsteps. Failed boost. They know what's happening here. But Brokey, he's been a laser beam with his guns the previous round, and they are just absolutely slaughtering. Like shooting fish in a barrel. Just one casualty there for FaZe, and OG, they just dissipate.
I was thinking, right, here we go. We got a retake. It's going to get interesting. And then he just walked into the firing squad. And
flat.
Yep, that was rough. That was rough times. They are going to go for a force. I just noticed before this very quick highlight replay of pretty much OG just getting bodied. So there are 2 scouts in play on the CT side. Interesting.
Can work. Can absolutely work. Ooh, chunky nade, I thought for a moment there, but no, actually not going to be dealing too much of damage. But yeah, the 2 scouts playing up close, looking to go for maybe simultaneous tags to get the kill. Could be the answer. Neofrag, though, not able to quite line up his shot. He will have to backpedal away and gets absolutely clotheslined. I don't even think the Undertaker could have done any better. Love the ragdolls.
Oh, Brokey, lots of damage done, but he has also been softened up. And Nexa will finish him off. Meanwhile, Twist making moves up on long. Just feels like FaZe are everywhere. They're omnipresent on this map. Just when OG think they've got a bit of breathing space, they're slapped back down to size. And Flames keeping himself alive on the site, giving his position away at the cost of a bit of health, though, and takes the head of Carrigan. But he won't be doubling up. Rain puts an end to his valiant last stand. And now OG have 2 more players remaining, but considering they have gone in for an investment, they picked up a Galil. Yep, I think this has save written all over it.
Nice attempt by the birthday boy there. That was a really nice shot into Carrigan, but yeah, immediate trade coming in. Oh, speaking of the timing there, Vince. Nexa, he just looks away, gets CSGO'd. And now Fiku left alone. He's got the scout. But they are on the hunt.
Yeah, and that's already goodbye Galil, unless Nexa will be avenged and Fiku can pick it up.
Could maybe just get it back if timing favors him. And indeed he will do so. Quite a bit of noise though, but yeah, he will stay alive. That's pretty decent. Bear in mind, he's got a deagle as well, which can drop to one of his teammates. And they could still be a clear threat for the side of FaZe. For FaZe though, keeping 4 players alive, they're going to be pretty comfortable with that. Might even see one of the players bringing out the MAC-10. There we go. Brokey's going to be the one leading the charge. Maybe looking to farm a little bit of cash. Maybe an early AWP coming up for the Latvian.
Interesting that Rain has just elected to stick in with the USP. Makes sense, really, all things considered, using that strange kind of middle ground of $3,300. And of course, if one of his teammates dies, he can go ahead and pick up the weapon, and it is Rops that's been put down. A stack comes in, and Fiku gets another one. There's the boost.
No one checks.
Hit and run from OG. 3 kills unanswered.
Now the USP, Vince. Now it's a problem, isn't it? It's like, oh, god damn it. I should have probably gone for a gun, but there we go. AK-47 at his feet. Picked up. CT's being mobile. Rain, is he going to check? No, he's not. Fiku with the off angle, leaving it all on twist. The magnificent Van Dolken in a 1 versus 5. And despite his heroics, I don't think he's going to be able to pull this one back. He's been tagged down in Neofrag with the dualies with a bullet in his head, in his skull. An unlikely round being just stolen away by OG.
And that boost was beautiful. We didn't see from Fiku's perspective, like how he got those 2 kills down, but they were both on Monster's side. So he's had one hell of a round, and we were just talking about him in the lead up to this game, hoping that we'd see more from him. Well, so far he's delivered. I feel like in the early stages of this map, he's already had more impact than the entirety of Dust 2. So hopefully that continues. FaZe in the meanwhile, though, undeterred, going for another bite. It will afford a Tech 9 and a Deagle and some AKs alongside it. So they're definitely a little bit down in terms of momentum after that last round, but they're by no means out of this one. Molotov down onto the balloons will force away the aggression, and our FaZe can start to close the gap.
Neofrag's feeling very uncomfortable here, Vincent. No one to help him out. No one to assist him. I thought Mantu would probably be holding behind him, but Mantu, he needs to fall back here. He's getting hounded. He's getting pushed on back. Well, Rops towards Connector. Got to bear in mind, OG have taken control of short. But the moment Flames shows his head, it will be pop. Mantu's got to do some combat opping, a little bit of a jiggle peek from Rain, and Mantu not hitting his shots. He needs to find something here. The no-scope won't land either, and his days are numbered, and he will finally fall, and at the same time, so will this captain. And if you're Fiku, you're running for the hills. You won't even get there, Vince. He will fall.
He's cut down.
He's cut down by Rops. That was just FaZe toying with that defense. And for OG, like, it's a bit weird, right? Like, for Neofrag, he's Molotov'd off, so he smokes off the position, but you're in a spot where you have Mantu holding for a push coming in from mid or fountain, but there's no one watching Connector. Like, you should be at least focusing yourself on Connector, so he gets taken down, Mantu gets toyed with, and then, of course, the 2 plays coming up short, 3 kills for Rops. It's kind of like OG just walked into their own deaths. And despite the heroics from round number 3, they're down to the pistols again.
Yeah, exactly. There was maybe a way forward for them to justify a buy, but it's similar to Dust 2. There was a couple of opportunities where they could have gone for a force, and they decided to hold fire so they could get a really solid investment. Plus, they must know the economy of FaZe was in pretty good shape, regardless of what happened, because of how comfortable that round ended up being. So that means that down to Deagles, they will traverse, and in the meanwhile, FaZe are making inroads already through on the Monster side. Getting up aggressive. This is looking dicey for OG. So much ground has been covered from Rops as he's taking a little bit of damage. It's negligible up in heaven. It's more of a nuisance and annoyance at this point. And finally, he'll splatter the bug against the windshield. But Neofrag has picked up an AK elsewhere on the map and may think about trying to hold on to this one. I would be surprised, though, if FaZe didn't at least dip their toe in the pool and try and deal with him accordingly. But it's going to be 4-1 regardless, Blair. And FaZe instantly recovering after a pretty embarrassing round, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of rounds being won by OG and the Pistols. Oh, Neofrag. Oh, you need to be wary. Karrigan on the hunt. Oh, he's not expecting this. Neither would Karrigan be. It's all about the timing on Karrigan. Oh, that's an upgrade as well, Vince. So they don't even lose an AK. They actually just lose the Galil. So that's okay. All Gucci for the FaZe camp. And for OG, though, the buy will be coming out. Mantu now with the AWP. He did find some impact, honestly. Like, if you go back to the first half, when it was kind of competitive on Dust 2, it was Mantu, it was Flames, and Nexa who were the ones delivering for the team, making it 8-7. Unfortunately, of course, the second half, it was FaZe running away with it. So if he could kind of recreate some of the magic, some of the shots he was hitting with the AWP, especially in the CT side, we could still maybe see a bit of a competitive tap over here as Rain's gonna come skipping and hopping his way out of the squeaky, not taking any damage.
Oh man, Brokey's already posted up on short as well, and they're going for a boost at the same time. The spray's off though from Rops. He's had a couple of those whiffs today. Uncharacteristic for a player of his magnitude, but Brokey on short pivots in, pounces, and deals with Fiku. Good flashbang though. Will force him away from the angle, but the damage may have already been done, and considering how quick they've got into these positions as well, Blair, they still have a minute and connect to control. At any given moment, they could just go for a rotation and OG would be none the wiser.
I think we need to see from what I really want to see from Mantu is something which like Dexter used to. He actually did in some of the games they managed to win. In Blast, just being, being a little bit more aggressive, is catching FaZe off guard. If you're going to play just defaults and hope the crossfires work, it's not going to work against FaZe. And this is better. See both of them roping on out, but isolated is Nexa, and now it's all on Mantu to deliver.
First frag goes his way, flick in 20 seconds to try and stop this push, but Twists on the approach. Will not miss with the AK. Neofrag tries to deny the bomb plant, but in doing so, he overextends, gives his life away. Next up is Flames, next down is Flames, and FaZe, 5-1 in the lead, have broken down the money once again for the CTs.
It was such an uncomfortable position for Mantu to be there, right? And it just, even individual duels are getting caught off guard. And for Mantu, great first flick shot, and then he was getting hampered from both the sides. So he needed to make a call as to which direction he wanted to head towards. He goes towards long, but unfortunately, he was expecting the player to be tucked into the right-hand side. Instead, Twists like a bat straight out of hell, just comes charging out from the left-hand position, which Mantu wasn't expecting. And yeah, once again, buy round gets nothing done, down to the Pistols once more. And for FaZe, you're going to be wary. They've had a couple of reminders from OG that they can't take things too easy against the Pistols, and that is something they should hopefully be aware of this time around. Being much more methodical in their approach. That being said, though, Brokey is someone, it's seemingly you can't put a leash on Vince. He's going to do what he wants, because he gets away with it.
Oh, he's untethered, yeah. This guy is, he is a beast. There's no two ways about it. Came under quite a lot of scrutiny when he first joined FaZe. Didn't have the most rapid of rises, but I think he's proven a lot of the naysayers wrong. Has been a bit of a reoccurring theme on FaZe as well. Rain came under a lot of scrutiny, and he had a phenomenal major. I think he's been criminally underrated for a long time. Speaking of the man coming through on the Monster side, can hear shots to his right. Will be peeking out first. Spray is good for 2, and he's joined by Twists. And the dominoes come falling down. Neofrag, the only player to muster up anything in retaliation, and he will be smoked off on Connector. FaZe looking good for a 6-1, and OG can't do too much. Then maybe look for an exit frag here or there. Maybe try and take some guns away, but Karrigan with the AWP. Winding back the years, of course, at one point he was an AWPer outright. So it's good to see him.
He was an AWPer 1.6. He was actually a star player back in the day. Before CSGO was even a thing. sure any boomers watching, I'm sure they remember. But yeah, I like the fact that he touched upon Brokey, right? Because during the kind of tumultuous era of FaZe, you know, post Boston, and during the online era as well, where they weren't really finding much success. There was still a middling team where they have stars like Rain. Even when Carrigan was there, even after Carrigan left, Brokey was kind of the rock for this team. He wasn't a star, he wasn't a superstar. He'd have people like Nico, for example, really pop off, but he was always stable. But the beginning of this year, it was when he went just Super Saiyan. You go back to Katowice, you go back to the beginning of the year, Katowice, Pro League. Like, he was so instrumental in FaZe, you know, getting the momentum, which enabled them to finally, obviously, lift the major as well, or lift a major trophy, which, of course, that's when everyone else stepped up for the side of FaZe. But yeah, Brokey has been, for me, an absolute star, a top 5 player thus far in 2022.
Oh, absolutely. Another player that could be up in that kind of a debate is Rops, and he has been suppressed down early on from the A1S and short. One of the first times that OG have really struck cleanly without any avenging kill coming in. So they got a real chance here, golden opportunity, but they've got to grab onto this with both hands, Blair. They cannot afford to let these chances slip.
New frag and man too. New frag. Hasn't been seen, but Twist seems to be aware. He is aware there's someone nearby. Spider sense tingling. And two again caught looking the wrong way, and just like that, the Batroom's defense gets absolutely dumpstered, and now Nexa has a strike. Timing is brilliant for Nexa, finds 2, and now it's down to Broken to bring this one back, and indeed he will. It's a 2v2. Flames, he's got to exercise a bit of patience here. His teammate's still far away, but the bomb will be planted.
Oh, even pulling up the USP as well, but he's using that smoke as sanctuary, and now his teammate Fiku is coming up. The two of them will be moving in together. It's hit and run. This duo of death, they're hoping. In the meanwhile, they have to contend with Rain, who's moving in. He's going to go into the spray, 1-for-1. Maybe good enough. The Molotov is down. Brokey with the AWP. He's going to miss his shot and gets punished. There is no kit for Flames. It's going to be close, but he should have this. And it looks like OG will pick up their second round, albeit by the skin of their teeth.
Oh, that took so much from OG. At least the AWP will be salvaged as well, but it just took a look at the money. It's not great. And it came down to the timing on the peak from Nexa, right? Catching Carrigan with his back turned and finding Twist as well. Huge round to win for OG, but they need to string a few together here, Vince. You can see the FAMAS is coming out as well. This is after a round win. At least the AWP there for Mantu, but he has been exceedingly quiet thus far on the CT side. He has been, like, just almost no impact, and he needs to find some here with the AWP.
Yeah, I think this is kind of goes back to what they were talking about on the desk. You mentioned it as well, that he's maybe one of those AWPers that doesn't necessarily shine against top-tier opposition. Flames in the meanwhile, though, doing a lot of damage, a lot of work. Second round in a row that OG have picked up the first. Lives to tell the tale as well, goes back in for seconds. He's not content with the kill. He wants to try and take some short control as well, and he's going to be joined alongside Fiku. Nice moves here from OG. Establishing a bit of domination, plus through and long, they've got a lot of map control early on in this round.
See what Flames can do with this. Some backup nearby as well if needs be. FaZe pretty much making no secret of the fact that it's going to be B hit, and Twist though just comes running out, not expecting to see to be holding the line. Rain up close, taking the duel, but a flash from Carrigan actually blinds his own teammate, and this is falling apart here for FaZe. And OG, if they can make this one clean, Vince, could potentially see a closer half here. Do you need to keep everyone alive, maybe upgrade their weapons? But as long as Rops and Carrigan is still in play, you can never be too sure.
Ollie down, anticipating a peek from Connector. Won't be forthcoming. OG have 4 players stacked on B. And this is really facilitated by that forward position they have on the balloons right now. I think FaZe will save. They've got an AWP, they've got an AK. There's no reason to throw these weapons away. And it does allow them to bolster up their buy into the next round. So OG, the first time that we've seen a convincing, clear-cut CT round. As you said, maybe battling their way back into this half. We saw a similar situation occur on the first half of Dust 2. It finished 8-7. There was moments where it looked like FaZe were just going to pull away and completely leave OG behind in the dust, and it wasn't the case. By the way, as well, Blair, I know you'll be interested in this one. The score on the B stream, Cloud9 expected to completely stomp Complexity. It's 17-15 in OT. In favor of Cloud9, but I don't think many people expected it to be that close.
I did have my eye on that game, and I believe it was actually, I think it was Complexity leading 14 to 8 or 14 to 9 at one point, and then Cloud9 just turned it off. But yeah, still going to OT against Cloud9. Fair enough, fair play, Complexity, fair play.
That, of course, is on the B stream. Or if you want to stick here and see how this match comes to its conclusion, or if we do head to a third, then stay here, of course.
Mate, Shearer's at 37 and 17.
Jeez.
Jesus. Okay. Anyway, getting back to the game that we have on our screens here. FaZe, back to the buy. Again, they build up so much of a bank that the only thing they don't have in the possession in their arsenal right now is the kitchen sink, perhaps. Twists go for the run boost. The nade, though, right in his face. He's going to need a bit of plastic surgery after that, but he will still be alive. So, OG, again, a standard hold. They do have a bit of more of an aggressive posturing towards short, though, as Flames is going to find Robs. That's the lurk taken care of.
Yes, Flame striking again. He did the exact same thing last round as well. Had a huge impact. Neofrag, does he spot the boost? I don't think he does. Now he realizes, sprays down and gets 2, and that's the bomb as well. Huge passage of play.
FaZe just might have to save this, Vince. Like, the AWP, you just want to kind of hold on to it. And here's the thing, Karrigan and Rain can buy come the next round, and Brokey can maybe drop an AK-4 ROPS if it doesn't buy any utility. So still, yeah, still definitely a possible buy for the side of Karrigan and his men. But OG, much better hold, although that looked a little unreasoned from Neofrag, just spraying away into the smoke and catching the boost.
That is the third round in a row. The OG have got the first pick, and they've managed to exploit that to its utmost. And I believe that FaZe have just called a tactical timeout here as well. This is the moment that pretty much secured this round and tied it up. I was incorrect. They're not calling a tactical timeout just yet. I wonder at what point they do pull the trigger, though, Blair, because they were, what, 6?
Stay alive, and they're going to try and hunt him down. They spot him. That's brilliant from OG. They don't allow him to escape, but they also know there's a player nearby. That is the AWP in the hands of Brokey. Scope heard, and Brokey, a missed shot. He knows there's a couple of players there. They spotted one make his escape. Is he aware of where Flames is still lurking around is the question. That's the bomb as well in the back of Brokey. And if he falls... Okay, never mind. He has his teammate right next to him. That is, of course, Twist, Dyrata, Karrigan grouping up together as he's looking to get control of short. But Flames holding the line here. He needs to win the duel, and indeed he will. Finds one. He's looking for more.
Oh, Flames had such a round here, but he's going to go down to Brokey, who decided, screw it. Let's switch to the AK. I need that mobility. I need the spray factor to come in. And now the two of them pushing through, joined alongside Rops. Nexa has the spray down, lands the headshot onto Rops and puts it all down to Brokey on just 32 HP. Already 11 kills in this half for the Latvian as he tickles the bomb, tries to bait out, tease and tantalize the CTs into the open. But be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it, Brokey. And Nexa puts him down for a 4th consecutive round on OG. They've nearly tied us up now.
Yeah, this is a resurgence from OG. 4 in a row here. And this is just great stuff from Flames, right? He gets the first kill, and Karrigan tucks on in, and he just does a great job just staying alive for as long as possible. And despite getting traded out by Brokey at the very end there, Brokey not able to quite convert the clutch this time around. His heroics don't quite pan out. For FaZe, finally, Vince, it took a while. It took a damn while for OG to break the money, but they have finally managed to do so. Just the pistols now for a Twist, Brokey, Rain, and everyone else. Bit of utility, though, and considering how many rounds have lost in a row, it will be a buy round come round number 13. Right now, it's going to be fast play towards B, and a shutdown from Flames.
Man, Flames has been tearing it up on the CT side, especially these last 4 or 5 rounds. He's really come alive, just when they needed him to. Now, sure, this is a half buy, it's Tech 9s, it's the Eagles, but the way he's been playing, confidence dripping from the young man. and it should be 6-6. FaZe have been well and truly repelled these last 5 rounds. And to be fair, it hasn't really been that close in terms of the rounds. We've seen OG really pick up the slack. FaZe maybe just waiting and anticipating that one of the CTs gets overzealous and pushes out. Maybe trying to stall for an extra couple of grenades. Flashbang is good. Second flash there as well, but also affects the T's running out of ammunition. The Flames is there. Oh, taps, drops down who was low. Now, did Flames just pick up an ace there? That was at least 4 kills.
I think he got the ace there. Eco ace, but still an ace. You know, when you go back to your HLTV profile, you look at the stats, you're like, yeah, he's got an ace. No one's going to remember if it's just a pistol, so go for it. 14-7 for the young lad. Yeah. He's continued his form, Vince. He was very instrumental. Indeed, it is an ace. He was instrumental in things being even a little competitive on that on the Dust 2 map, and he's continuing to tear it up here on this map. OG, very much on fire right now as it tied things up against FaZe, where the buy is going to be coming in, and Brokey maybe getting a little too overeager, just runs on in, and Mantu will punish him.
Yeah, that's the kind of play they were doing earlier and getting success with, but it seems like OG have really started to stabilize this one again. We're seeing them get aggressive into playground. We've seen this a couple of times already. Allows them this stack on the B side. It's been an impressive comeback here, Blair, because honestly, it's 6-1 down. Never like to call a game early, but it did feel like FaZe were just having their way with OG. And OG weren't able to win trades, weren't able to outmaneuver FaZe. They just always seemed multiple steps behind. But now Molotov in with the spray. Flames is there alongside him. OG have made the perfect counters. They have FaZe in their back pocket these last few rounds.
And look at the flank as well. Even if Twist is able to find a couple over here, Neofrag is sneaking in from behind, and Twist's days are numbered. Getting pincered. His days not long for this world. There you have it, Neofrag from behind, putting him out of his misery. OG with the lead. This was FaZe firmly in control, Vince, but OG have brought this one back. Now, there is a caveat that for FaZe, even if they lose, I mean, this half goes the way of OG 9-6, FaZe will still be reasonably comfortable. But for them to go have a 6-1 lead and then allow OG to string 8 in a row, it will irk them a bit.
Oh, no doubt at all. I mean, this is just building confidence for OG at this point. You're effectively came back big time. Twist nearly just burns from 100 to 0 through that Molotov. But you're coming back big time against the major champions. Like, if that doesn't instill a certain confidence and pride in you, then I don't know what will. Neofrag finishes off the weakened Twists. But once again, OG are taking control over key aspects of the map. Brokey, though, will nullify Neofrag, and that does open up business over on the playground. In the meanwhile, though, exploding out of Connector are FaZe, but Nexa puts up the shield and thwarts the push from taking any further shape. Mantu's now starting to have the impact that we are hoping for, but it is against the ecoed up FaZe. Next round will be a purchase. And FaZe aren't dead and buried in this round just yet.
Absolutely. It's still not quite out of it yet, right? OG. Because Rain with that AK-47. And now Carrigan, I don't think he's going to be expecting 2 players to his right-hand side. But Rain finding man to go draw to rotation. That could be Carrigan's opportunity to at least find one. Or maybe not.
Yeah, and he's pushing quite a long way ahead of Rain because the bomb was dropped on T side of Con, so even if Carrigan did land a 1D there, it would have been a long time before the bomb arrived at its destination. And now Rain, maybe hoping that they divide themselves, is about to get heard. And now the rotations come in. The players on A making moves round from Connector. Also here, 13 seconds. This would have to be a clutch pulled out the backpack of one of the prime moments of Rain's career. And it's Flames that just thwarts the push before it gets even any kind of traction. OG not just take the lead, but they extend it as well, as they've won the last 7 rounds in a row.
I haven't saw an auto sniper come out to play. I'm not sure if there was a misbuy or surely don't go for the auto sniper, Vince.
Well, something about auto snipers and overpass.
Yeah,
It's an interesting history there.
I mean, I do believe they dropped in the spawn. Maybe, you know, if they have to fall on back to the back of the bomb site, they could try and utilize it. As Manti going for a bit of an early poke and prod towards connected, not finding anything new. Frag, I don't think he's been seen here, and that's going to be an easy kill for him. Brokey will fall. This is 7 in a row for OG. If you can make it 8, if you can make it 9-6, it's been a monumental comeback for Nexa and his men. FaZe left a little dazed and confused, looking to find something. Robs, apart from the initial few rounds, hasn't really found much success here. And Neofrag being aggressive here towards the long, I'm not necessarily a big fan of this here, Vince.
Yeah, you already have the player advantage, but it could work out for them. He's hearing footsteps. Oh, he's been spotted, and Twists puts him down, and that's the reason why. They had such a good position. If he just stays alive on long, they could have pinched it in, but maybe it won't end up mattering a great deal because Mantu smatters down Twists once again and backs away to the site after a Molotov is put in position.
Still, with the avenue towards B cut off, they're going to require Robs to once again crack this one open, but because they have no control towards the A bomb side, there's no need for Faker Flames to rotate. And Mantu with the op, who's asked him to deliver, has been a little quiet. All he needs to do is just hold the angle, hold the line. 30 seconds, FaZe need to make a move.
Oops. Spotting headshot, angles, but gets put down. FQ gets the team kill, but Nexa also burns Rain. A bit of a chaotic few moments in this round, but it will find itself into a 1v2 stacked against Karrigan, who comes around the corner. FQ is there, goes in for the spray, but a damage done, and Karrigan will finish off the kill. Smoked out, enough time for the plant. And Karrigan, 100 HP, Mantu just shy of that mark. Orp plays against AK-47. Karrigan's been in these positions so many times in the past. Molotov tossed down, goes in for the peak as well. It's the Master versus the Apprentice. And right now, Mantu is stuck on the graffiti, hoping to write his chapter in this map. A chance for OG to extend to 9-6, but Karrigan is playing the time. Mantu tickles the bomb. Karrigan's having none of it. Next defuse comes in. Karrigan, if he peeks in, will get getting this frag, and there's the headshot. The Master once again teaches with the back of his hand. And although FaZe will trail by 1 round, at least they end in winning ways.
He played that so very well. Once he gets the first kill over here, gets a bomb down, and he just plays the time. He makes Mantu feel so very comfortable, doesn't fall for the first tap of the bomb, and his second one, he swings out to the perfect timing there. He knew he was going for the stick at that point in time, and with just a couple of seconds remaining, not even a couple of seconds, I think like 1.3 seconds remaining on that defuse, he lands a headshot, plays it to perfection. But this does feel like deja vu, Vince. You said it does too. It was super close. It was super competitive. It was 8-7, the score line. But it was FaZe running away with the second half. Now, the question here is on everyone's lips. Is history going to repeat itself? Or will OG somehow take us to map number 3?
Yeah, I suppose to play devil's advocate, though, like, it felt like FaZe ran out of steam or something on that T-half. I think it's going to be harder for OG to break them down, so I feel like this pistol could be very important indeed. As Julie's up close, though. Back turn for flashbangs, but Twist has no impact whatsoever, and the smoke trying to keep them alive on the site. As they pinch around, it's still in the smoke. Are they hiding? But Brokey's been finalized, and in the blink of an eye, multiple players bite the dust. And now Rain, in a 1-on-5, has picked up the first. There's going to be so many bodies aimed towards his position, and OG not just pick up the pistol, but they make it look easy.
Brokey tried his best to stay alive inside of that smoke. But then, yeah, OG not falling for it. Great entries coming in there. And I do feel like the tides have turned a bit here, Vince. Now, again, T-side overpass not going to be easy at all, especially against a team like FaZe. But they've taken the first step here, right? Win the pistol, survive the force buy, get it to 11-7, and then every round's going to be a battle, but at least you make life a little bit more easier. Karrigan out in the open. Oh, that's a free kill for Karrigan. Out in the open, though, still looking to take the duel. He needs to find a little bit of cover here. Flashbang will blind him, and Neofrag will eventually get the trade.
Yeah, it's just a moment there where you thought Karrigan was going to land a second headshot, and this was just going to spiral out of control. With this being a force buy, though, a 2-for-1 trade is simply not good enough on the side of FaZe. They still have to put these 5-7s, these deagles to use. FaZe not getting too aggressive, not getting overzealous on these approaches. Brokey would have spotted 2 players out there on long. That's intel he can relay to his teammates. They were thinking about going for a rotation on the B side, but has been quickly second-guessed. But with 55 seconds, they can't realistically assume the A site is going to be the final destination. We can see from the benefit of where the bomb currently resides on long that that's going to be the case. But now Brokey is going to be called upon multiple times, tagged down at 56 as he scampers away, and that second contingent on A site has rotated off. It looks like he'll back away and try and save these weapons so they can come back stronger in the next round. But that does mean that they are giving away this 10th round to OG.
And a potential 11th. For FaZe now, they will hold on to these couple of Deegs and the 5-7. Flames needs to be careful. If he falls, Galil could be even more lethal here, Vince. So, definite danger still lurking around here for Flames. But yeah, they survived the initial scare. Flames looking to ensure that Galil doesn't get picked up. He's keeping an eye on it. Question is he expecting the player pushed up close? Rob's lying in wait behind the wood. Flames can't see him yet. It's a bit of a scare, but Flames will survive. He gets the kill, ensures the Galil won't be picked up, and that's crucial, Vince. Even though it's only one more player getting taken down, that's a deagle and armor taken away from Rob. So that's one lesser deeg to contend with come round number 18. For the side of FaZe, yeah, this is another round where they can try and deal a bit of damage, but the ideal scenario for OG, it has transpired here. Win the pistol, the follow-up, survive the third as well, get to 11 and 7, and then, of course, you have to contend against the full buy of FaZe. But till then, if you can get there, you've done yourself a massive favor.
Yeah, one component of this FaZe roster and really performances, hold that thought for a second, actually, because OG are about to explode out onto the B site. There's multiple players here. There's CZs. There's other upgraded pistols they have to contend with, but the CZ is going to ride. Rain's deagle, though, is true. His aim on point as he looks to try and dart back. Brokey had some opportunities, but he's whiffed. He's missed the shots. He'll get punished. Rain is still alive, still kicking, but for how much longer? Only a few more moments. 5-7 now from above's going to strike in, but it's dink onto Twists as he trades up to the deagle. And maybe changing his avenue of aggression all the way back. Is he going for the long wrap back to connector, or is he going to be coming back again? In fact, I think he, for a moment, thought this could be a ruse onto the A site. Now he's going to be moving back down on Graffiti side. He spots Nexa, and Nexa's Mac 10 will rip through his head. 11-7 now, the score.
Even though to deal a bit of damage, I don't think OG's going to be too worried about that. You can look at the cash, it is pretty solid. I'm not sure if Mantu's going to be going for the op. Indeed, he will. Indeed, he will. Flames, his heroics on that in that first half. Now everyone else starting to answer as well. Fiku and Neofrag, this has been just night and day as opposed to how they just had a nightmare on Dust 2. But an Overpass, we've had some pretty solid rounds thus far. Now this is the first real test here for the side of OG. FaZe and their CT side. We have the op out in the hands of Brokey, but this is good from OG. They're resting early control of short and off bathrooms. It's okay, Twist. This wall bangs Fiku straight out of the server.
I may not expect a second player here, though, and that could be to the detriment of Twists. Yep, spins around, but not in time. But Rops from Connector jumps in for one, then darts back again. Brokey, there was a little bit of maneuverability opened up for him. But unfortunately, from his perspective, there was no re-peek. And our Rops takes the kill, instantly darts into T-side of Con, and is looking to get round the back of the T's. Rain, did the barrel of his gun betray him there? I don't think so, because Neofrag is none the wiser. He's moving down into Connector, but this is all where Rops' position is massive. It's paramount, and he's found the bomb. Brokey can now hold in position. This round, simply put, should not be going away from FaZe. And they shouldn't be losing any more players either, because Rops has this under control. Anyone pushes short pipe, they're a goner. But he goes in for the peek, and he's been spotted and fragged down from Nexa.
I see no reason why Robs had to go for that play. But it's information gained for FaZe, but because of how far the C4 is, what do OG do? They don't have time. They have to commit for this, and Canada's taking a lot of damage, so it's going to come down to Brokey to save his captain, and Neofrag, 15 seconds remaining on the clock. He's just going to hold on to his AK-47. Even though he's got the health, he doesn't have the time.
Yeah, and surely FaZe don't even toy with the idea of chasing this down. They have no money to play with if they lose another player. This allows them that safety net of dropping a couple players and bolstering out the buy across the board. One thing I was going to say before, though, is like FaZe, one thing that Carrigan has said multiple times is in the past, in previous iterations, it felt like when they were behind, when they were up against it, the team kind of crumbled a little bit. It's something he said multiple times after the major. Like, whenever they're even down, they could be down 5-10 rounds. They always have full belief and full confidence in themselves. So, even though they're behind here, you better believe that FaZe feel like they have every chance to still win this game.
Okay, bro. Okay. The edge off the wall, and he finds a neo frag. Wow. And that's... What is he doing, Vince?
Yeah, there's been a lot of audacious plays from FaZe with these repeats, and I mean, we saw this from Rops in the last round. There's a fine line between confidence and maybe hubris stepping in, you know?
Hubris is a nicer word, yes.
I was trying to be nice.
Well. Okay.
Oof.
Flames even getting tagged away. This is, you can see the amount of pressure being exerted here, right, by FaZe. You have Rain as well in a short position. You should at least find one. No, Flames at least able to trade. And once more, Brokey. His bloodlust is just something else.
I mean, it's great to watch entertainment-wise, but it does make you a bit uncomfortable at times with some of the peaks he goes for. He has full confidence in his own ability, though. It's great to see. Great shot again onto Flames. And with the frag and seeing a second player dart across, Man2, try as he may, was always fighting uphill. OG still have a 2-round advantage, though, but their money now has been broken down.
It has, and this is where those buffer of rounds they built up comes into play, right? They had a 4-round lead. That's going to allow them a couple of rounds like this where FaZe just kind of roll over them. But eventually, they're going to run out of opportunities, and that's when they need to strike. Right now, just going to be the pistols looking to maybe deal a bit of damage, but you see the read coming in from FaZe as well. You have Rain with the MP9 is going to be aggressive, and you said it best, Vince. It is exciting to watch Brokey at times as to how little of a crap he seems to give, but at times like this, I want him to be a little bit more restrained. Be a Shiro, don't be a JW in this round.
Yeah, Shiro off the back of picking up 37, 38 kills. Flames, though, with a Glock. I don't know what happened there. Brokey, please stop. And he's peeking in again. See, that's the other side of the coin. It looks great when you land flicks, but when you're overextending and get picked up like that, not so much. But Twist is here. He is the safety net. He is the ace up the sleeve. And surely it's a 10th round. Shot miss from Man2. One that, realistically, if he's going to clutch, he had to land. He'll get another opportunity, and Rops peeks into him, but there is Twist to clean it up.
I like the fact that FaZe are having a bit of fun, but it's also like, why? Right? Like, look at the scoreline, guys. They have the lead. There's no need for Brokey to go for this. Like, the second shot, a blinder of a shot, and there was absolutely no need for Brokey to push on ahead. Like, your teammate just died to a Glock. You know they have an MP9, and you're just running in with the USP out. That is just disrespect from Brokey. But things will stabilize. But you can see the amount of money FaZe have, despite winning a couple of rounds, it's still not that great. And that's because they're hemorrhaging too many players unnecessarily. Neofrag burning alive at 60 HP, but he will be fine. Rain all alone towards long.
They actually whiffed a second molly as well, which could have done a lot more damage, all things considered. But as you mentioned, Rain back to the wall. And he will get punished. He will get pummeled by Nexus AK. So a free B pick on long is going to make things a lot more difficult for FaZe to contend with. But Brokey, of course, is getting aggressive again in the bathrooms. Watching on the long side, picks up the frag and backs away.
It's much better from Brokey. There's no need to outsay his welcome. And he's got backups as well. 2 players inside our bathrooms, and they have Rops. Bit of a quiet game for Mr. Cool. And all he's to do is just look towards long, and yeah, OG might just be walking into the blender.
3 players up now. lining up their grenades. There's not many to use though. 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs. No flashes is a pretty key absentee on this aggression. Molotov down. Rops now can hold the line. 2 players have crossed him. He didn't hear that. He did get 1 frag beforehand, however. And now Broky's watching for the cross, but down goes Twist, and that puts Broky in a very awkward spot. As long as Twist was alive, he could focus fully on the site, and as soon as that part of the puzzle came undone, so did Broky. Carrigan, who was on B, scratching his head, wondering how the hell that crossfire just failed, has to back away with the AK and hold on to this. Considering the positions that FaZe were in, it looked like that was a bit of a gimme round, but they've let it slip away.
I am actually so just confused as to how OG were able to crack that defense. But that kill on towards the, I think it was it Twist? Or Robs? I think it was Twist inside of bathrooms. That was such a blinder of a shot, Vince. He didn't have any time to react. And Nexa, he's like, he smelled Broky. He's like, Broky's there somewhere nearby. Catches him as well. And as you said, Broky was a very uncomfortable spot. And they didn't give him any free opportunities. Carrigan, sure, he saves that AK-47. Sure, he's got $6,500 to work with. Look at the rest of the money for FaZe. They are broke. They're so very broke. But the force buy will come in. They want to stop the streak here. They don't want OG to get on a streak, rather. It's a questionable buy here, Vince. But if you look at the individuals in that team, you can see them somehow turning it around. AK-47 for Carrigan, A1 for Rops, AWP for Broky, and an MP9 and a Deagle in play. Minimal utility as well, and that means it's going to be aggression coming out from FaZe.
Mantu watching the long angle. If Rain gets overzealous and goes for this peak, he's going to be a goner. He may be anyway if Neofrag goes in for this peak, but there is a double setup in play. This time, it will be Rops behind him. And I love that they've put Rain in first because he died in this tree position. So if they get the frag on him, they'll be thinking, right, tree's probably clear. If anyone was going to play that, it would be Rain. Now, having 2 players on long this aggressive allows for a fast wrap around the back. So it could come down to timing. Mantu, does he still have eyes on the long side? Rain is trying to hear. He's trying to listen for footsteps, but nothing's forthcoming. And Mantu's decided to pull the plug. He backs away.
The timing, though, and can see now Rain slowly creeping out from behind. He sees no one. But OG, they're making a play here towards his B bomb side of Broky. Up in hand, he doesn't miss those. Neofrag, the first to fall.
Second player as well in the tight angle on sandbags. They won't expect this. They won't expect this. And Fiku's gone down. Broky already picking up one. Tries to flick in. Lands the damage, but not the kill. And there's Twist with the MP9 to clean up the rest. Now Mantu comes back in, swinging with 1 and a second. But there's too many players, too many bodies. And FaZe stretch out their economy, stretch out a buy, and make it work.
The force buy, it was so dicey. If OG were able to break that, that could have been potentially OG just getting to round number 14, perhaps. But even the timing as well, Vince. You saw Mantu just holding towards long, but that internal clock in Rain's head, I don't know if it's a Rolex or something. It was so perfect. He just walks around from behind. It's like, all right, there's no one outside of long. There's no one towards mid position. You guys concentrate towards speed. And then, yeah, Broky with the first kill, and then Twist making that MP9 look like a freaking rifle. And with that, money not great now for OG, and that nade doing so much of damage as well. There's just the pistols here for OG, and for FaZe, it's about ensuring they win this round without bleeding any players at all.
That nade was like 150 damage, but Fiku with his deagle just puts the bullet through the eye of Rain. And that's not just a rifle picked up, but that's a bit of control as well. It's a heavy connector presence, though. Rops will be looking on the prowl as a boost comes in. FaZe, after that force buy, has yielded so much. Cannot afford to let this round slip. Flashbang is good. Follow-up damage there, but the bomb dropped down will stop them from repeaking. I say that as Carrigan goes in for the white swing, and it's put in his place, but Rops with the white swing of his own. Doubles up. And now Nexa on 48, trading up to the M4. living on borrowed time, and Rops will capitalize, picking up yet another one. FaZe tie us up to 12-12.
Rops has had a bit of a rough game, right? Like overall, even if you go back to Dust 2 as well, he wasn't as impactful. Sure, that there is that one round where he gets 2 kills with a Zeus and a USP, but there have been moments here where it feels like he's unnecessarily given away his life, including Brokey as well. But then it's also been positions where he has not really been winning duels, which he should be winning 9 times out of 10. But that's a good round coming out from him. It looked like OG might have once more pulled off something magical with the pistols, but Rops was there to ensure normalcy will be maintained. But everything's tied up here, Vince. 12-12. Again, remember, this is the map pick from the side of FaZe, and Twist is just going to line them up. 3 quick kills in succession for FaZe, and only 1 reply coming in from Mantu.
Oh, that's a rough repeat from Brokey. The bomb's still down, an awkward spot, though. A bit more damage done. Incendiary behind it. Fiku burns. Singed down to 68, and there's a smoke behind it to just blockade off. But again, they have the rotational contingent in position. They have the backstab if they need it. And of course, as long as he stays in this spot, it gives them valuable intel. The thing they don't know, though, is where the connector is currently occupied. But because of the bomb drop, it doesn't really matter. They know the OG have got to make inroads onto the site at this stage, and that allows Rops the luxury of not worrying too much. But the fact that Fiku has now picked up the headshot onto Twists is so huge. Rops, though, could put this round to bed as he takes the head of Fiku and spills the bomb out once more. The poison chalice of this bomb, and now Rain will put the final nail on the coffin. FaZe regained the lead, and OG are in trouble.
Rain out in the open, crouched down. Mantu wasn't expecting that. If Mantu's able to find a kill onto Rain, then suddenly it is very, very winnable for OG. FaZe cling on, suffer a few casualties, but they have managed to go on a bit of a streak of their own as well. This was a worry, Vince, right? It was 11-7 for OG. And ever since then, it's been 6 rounds for FaZe and just 1 for the side. Nexa is ready now once we get the pistols. Rops just goes to the wide swinging. Nexa is waiting for him. The pistols once again delivering death as Karrigan tries to go for the trade, and indeed he will find 2.
Oh, Flash may have connected, but so will Brokey. And Karrigan from strength to strength with 3 is looking for a 4th and finds himself the 4K. FaZe moved to 14-12, and it feels like that OG comeback is a distant memory at this point.
Rob's been having a bit of a rough time at some of these duels, right? Walking into waiting players. Question not quite working out for him, but still, FaZe now 2 away from closing out this series and facing off the winner of the first game, earlier game we had here on the A stream, which was big. So we're going to be seeing a FaZe big game taking place later on during the group stage. Not tomorrow, though. Tomorrow we'll have the other groups playing it out. As Neofrag finds Rain, an important frag to find, and Rops is going to stick around. No, he's not. He's going to fall on back. He knows he's the sole defender right now. And look at OG pressuring him, pushing on down, getting control along real quickly.
Oh, he anticipates this peek up. Can't see anything just yet. There's the flick. A little bit predictable. What may not be predictable, though, is that Twist is now pushing up alongside. This could completely thwart OG. They have no idea. Fiku is trying to jump, barrel the gun through first, and Twists passes the bullet into the head. Good flash, good frag. Rups nearly, narrowly surviving, but will be splattered in midair. And now an important trade goes the way of OG. Nex has been fragging hard, by the way, in this game. He's been really pulling his weight. Brokey now gets aggressive. AWP in hand, flick across, doesn't quite connect. The grenade, though, could seal the deal, do a bit more damage. Neofrag surviving on 15. But Brokey is still alive and still on the site.
And now, OG, they need to make a decision. 30 seconds on the clock. Time is not really their friend right now. Next is switching back to the AK-47 as they group on up. They head back towards B. They're hoping there's no one left, but Captain lies into it. It's the Maestro once more, Vince.
Oh, yes, he's looking to paint a picture out of OG and splattered, and there's the first to spray. For the second isn't there, but Brokey shows his hand. 12 seconds to play with, and the flick not on point. Nexa on 15 survives and keeps OG just about in this game.
Coming down to the clutch, we saw Carrigan, the captain, pull off a clutch of his own in the first half, and now Nexa coming in huge. That was such a good recovery from OG, though, Vince. They lose the first couple of players, and the fact that they're able to snatch it back, great work. That's why the heroics of Carrigan and Brokey not quite able to close out around where FaZe, but they still have money for the buy. But if they lose this, round, they have no more money remaining, and that could be OG marching on to map point here. For OG, though, Mac 10, Rain in an uncomfortable position, and the smoke will, yeah, that's going to be a giveaway. They know where he is, and at that range, that Mac 10 could very well come out on top, but he does have Overwatch from above, Brokey, but he's got to be wary about so many angles.
Yeah, exactly. He has nobody on A to watch his back. The other aspect of this as well, which they're starting to exploit, OG, is that Long has nobody present. So at this point, FaZe know, like, hold on, we have Connector, but what's happening on the A site? And that's going to draw away one of the B defenders to go up onto A. This is leaving B a little bit more vulnerable. This Connector play is so important. The first kill in this area of the map could very well not just finalize who wins this round, but potentially this match, because both teams' economy had by a thread. Rain, though, trades back and forth. A 1-for-1 as FiQ goes down, but so does Rops. And now the T's are picking up pace. Rain is the next to fall. And the A site is basically completely clear. Flames gets a kill before Brokey can put him down, and FaZe may be looking to save.
They have to save. They have to save. They have no money. Nothing to speak of. I don't know how Flames gets 2 kills there, Vince. 2 kills with the Galil. That is massive. Because if he gets taken down, right? If he gets taken down, sure, OG might be able to get the bomb down, but that would have been a 4v3 man advantage for FaZe. They could go for the retake coming in from CT. They could go for a late flank coming in from Connector. But the gamble play from FaZe to keep 2 inside of Connector doesn't work out. And I love that call from OG. The moment they get the kill onto the player towards bathrooms, they're like, yeah, just immediately pivot towards A. And that's all Mantu, Neofrag, and Nexa had to do, because Flames finding 2 kills right there towards Connector just sealed the deal. Flames isn't having an incredible game. We are now in round number 29, and he's on 99 ADR. Massive impact for the youngster.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And when you consider as well that it was that CT side where they were 6-1 behind, and it was Flames that rekindled that burning drive to get OG back in this matchup. Yes, he's had impact on the T side, but it was that CT side, those 5 or so rounds where he was just everywhere. He was omnipresent. Kills in Monster, kills in Connector, kills in mid. A huge reason as to why we're in this position to start off with. Those 2 safe weapons affords a buy from FaZe, but it will include 3 MP9s and a lack of utility on multiple players. And they only have 1 kit. G2, or OG, sorry, pardon me. Completely different team, of course. OG.
I mean, Nex is there. Nex is there. It's fine.
That's legit why I got confused for a moment. But OG are on the brink. If they win this round, Blair, they have a very good chance at a 16-14.
Now, it's just about surviving this buy. They've gone for it. It's a rough call to make here for FaZe. All the timing there. Flames, he's going to open it up. And a missed shot from Brokey. This could be it. A flick is going to find Nexa. The second kill as well. Brokey is coming alive. And if he's got to do everything by his lonesome, he might just do it. Neofrag sneaking in from behind, and Rain's not going to check.
He's not going to check, but he also doesn't get checked himself. The timing. You already say that he's got this 6th sense. He always seems to know the best moments to lurk and come out from the shadows. He would have heard that. He would have heard that movement from Mantu, and now he's going to come around the back, and that's the bomb as well. The spray in the back of the head of Mantu, and the bomb gets spilled down. There's a player in short, though, which could very well nullify Rain, but he's going to be hiding in the smoke. Oh, this is such a dirty smoke, but Fiku is up to the task. 2-play-2 with 40 seconds left.
Brokey, though, he's the man. He's the one they need to somehow avoid. And they're going to be just coming on towards long. The two CDs lying in wait here. This could be a disaster event for OG. They have no idea. But the footsteps, it's been heard. And Brokey lies in wait.
They've got a Molotov, but no flashes, no smokes, and no chance. Brokey with one. And there's the second from Twists. OG stumble and fall. And considering that Flames got 2 entries to kick the round off, how they've lost that is anyone's guess.
I give you the answer. That was Brokey. That first shot is just... What is that flick onto Nexa? And a follow-up as well. Information conveyed. Even the final kill, Vince. He gets the tag. Enables Twist to get the kill just with the bullets into the body of the final member. And we come down to the final round. OG, one more round. And we see overtime. For FaZe, one more. We're going to call it a good night.
Big waiting in the wings. Entropiq will be facing the loser of this game. This has been a far closer match than we could have possibly anticipated, especially after the start. Another smoke down, and Flames up to his Ultrix. 1 kill. And Twists gets a flash in the eyes, but still holds his position. Extra smoke now deployed onto Monster. A 1-for-1 trade, but they're starting to make moves up on long, and Rain is thinking about this peak. If he doesn't change his angle, he could be picked off for free. Molotov in first, though. He's being tagged down, but still stands his ground against Neofrag.
It is so unfortunate for Neofrag, Vince. If he went just for the dry, slow clear, Rain was dead to rights. So the Molotov gives it away. And Rain going for the wide duel, 40 HP, but he will stay alive. And now the man advantage now for FaZe. OG, there have been a couple of times where they've somehow managed to turn things around. But 45 seconds... There is a player outside of Monster's next on the lurk, but the bomb is creeping its way back towards its A bomb site. And guess who lies in wait? It's the Iceman.
Oh, hands the shot through the truck, but only 15 damage. Fiku in the meanwhile, though, make short work of Rain. And there's still time. And they have the pivot point. They have the foundation. They're on the B site already. Rotations coming out as well, but they still have players here. And now they spotted them. Rops, though, having a struggle with that spray. Now Twists is going to be stepping up to the plate, delivering headshots aplenty. Mantu gets destroyed, and there's Rops to seal the deal. It was so much closer than it had any right to be, but FaZe still get it done in 2.
Oh, that was so close. Twist, the savior there, Vince. Like, there was a world the peak into the second player